One of the real joys of my computer is listening to my music and managing all my tunes. Now, I've showed you iTunes in the past, but I want to return today for a little look under the hood. This is all about getting the most out of iTunes. More than just organizing and managing our music collection, when you really dive into the deep end with iTunes, it becomes almost as much a part of the enjoyment of your music as the music itself is. Do you remember back in the old vinyl days or in the CD days when you were listening to music? How did you choose what music you wanted to listen to? Well, you thumbed through your collection, and looking at all those covers was as much a part of the process, as much enjoyment, as actually listening to the music itself. And so let's take a look at how we kind of transfer that hands-on approach into the computer world. When I first launched iTunes, of course, I'm brought into the iTunes Music Store, which is where I go to purchase new songs or maybe look and discover new artists. But up here in the top left side is my library. This is the music that I've actually downloaded, purchased, or ripped off of my own CDs into iTunes myself. And you might not recognize this view that I have on the screen right now, but if we look under the view menu, we can actually look at our music in a couple of different ways. We can look at list views, album views, and this is one called Cover Flow. And this is the closest thing to that hands-on approach of just thumbing through or working your way through your albums or your CDs. Now, as I scroll back and forth, I can see all of my different CD titles. Now, when I purchase music online or when I rip a CD off of one of my collection, usually I'll be able to find the artwork for that. For instance, when you download something from iTunes, the artwork will be included and will automatically come to your system and it'll appear here. With your older CDs, you might not have the artwork available. And you definitely want to make sure that you have as much artwork as possible because you don't want to see these kind of placeholder graphics. You want to see the nice graphic of the album itself. So how do we get that graphic? Well, if we can't download it from the net, you can check to see if it's there just by getting album artwork. If you click on that, it searches on the web, discovers that it's not available for this is for the best of Procol Harum. You can look for the graphics on the web or you can scan it in if you happen to have the cover yourself. I have this cover, I scanned it in, so here's how I'm going to add it to this song. You go into the Get Info by right-clicking your mouse to get the context-sensitive menu on the song itself, and this brings up a summary of the song or of the album. And it's got the bit rate that it was ripped at and all the basic information about the song. And if we move along, you can add lyrics if you want to copy and paste the lyrics in here. But finally, we have available artwork here as well, so we can add artwork to this album. I've already scanned this in, so I'm just going to go into the artwork folder that I choose. I've got the Best of Procol Harum, which was the title here. I'm going to open that and apply it, and now the Best of Procol Harum appears here as my album artwork. So this is a great way for you to add extra value to iTunes because now this cover flow will also play back on all of the newer generation iPods or the iPod Touch. It'll play on Apple TV if you happen to have that, or here on my computer. So it just adds to the kind of the physical interaction of my music. You know, iTunes is a world unto itself. More than even the iPod, iTunes has revolutionized the music industry. If your collection of music means a lot to you, it's well worth mastering some of these more advanced aspects of iTunes. And I should note, everything we've just looked at here on the Mac is the exact same in Windows. iTunes is one of those applications that the more you put into it, the more you get out of it. It's the little things in life that make us more productive and more efficient. And if we're more productive and efficient, we're more relaxed. And if we're more relaxed, we're happier. And that's who I am. Steve Dotto, the Happiness Man. If you want more information on any of the topics that we've covered on the show, drop by our website. You can view this episode or previous episodes in podcasts, and you can also drop us a note. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on Dotto Tech.